I think I want to talk about the story. I want to hear myself detail at what capacity that I can. Life from July 2023 or even June 2023 until now. Um I realize as I'm trying to think about the story, that so much traumatic experiences has happened between 2020 and 2024 until now that I don't really like the things that I think happened this past summer happened the previous summer and even the summer before that, 2021 and 2022 summer. So I guess I can start there briefly. So I could just say this. Around August 2021, I manifested Conveniently Black. I believe I was traveling with my spouse at the time, and I might have stayed with him for about a month or two. I come back to Dallas. I'm back home with my parents. She's moving. And by this point, it is February or late December 2021. Christmas is good. I'm crocheting. I'm having spiritual awakening. My first. I feel like that was the first time it was that heavy, but I was still like, I feel like I was swimming the waters, It wasn't much different than now. Trying to go to work, trying to have income, trying to pay bills, trying to manage responsibilities, etc., etc., etc. I remember planning to move on my own, being scared, similar to how I feel now. My mom wanted me to move with her. I felt more safe to move with her because financially I would be wiped with the one source of income. I just don't see past working jobs or other things, even though like when I've sex work, when I've done spiritual readings, when I've done like nonprofit work, I've seen where you can be sustainably paid in other forms of income, not just W-2. But I have to continue to grow and develop and understand my value, my worth, my time, and what I actually really desire. And I can just be honest, I just am so like exhausted from experiences in life and trauma that it's kind of like, I don't give a fuck. And I don't give a fuck for real, but like so much survivalism is just causing me to not see clearly, not see the options that may be available to me. So I was having a very difficult time living with my mom. I just felt like just it's even similar to now. Like, oh my goodness. I just felt like there was some really intense spell work, spiritual work happening. Like, I'm healing, I'm purging, I'm releasing. I'm like, just my memory, like I'm remembering my childhood. I'm reliving experiences that just contributes to the weirdo person that I am today. And I don't mean that in like a negative connotative way. I'm okay to be weird. I'm happy to be my indifference, because it's unfortunately is rooted from a lot of bullshit. But fortunately, I've made that shit look so beautiful. Okay? So, I think while I was living with my birth mom, she just had so much difficulty hearing the truth about like how I related to being raised in her household and being raised in my dad's household, and how that impacted me. And instead of accepting it, instead of like, you know, analyzing herself and acknowledging where she potentially dropped the ball or made some mistakes, or was too exhausted for, or dealing with her own trauma, her own life experiences to oversee or look, or it could be quite fake that she just didn't give a damn. Like, it's okay. I think we have to get to a point where sometimes we see even children, because I've had some instances where like a child really like disturbed me, where I disconnected from them, where I'm like, well, I'm not your parent, I'm not related to you, so I don't need to force myself to have this emotional connection that obviously isn't receptive. And I know as children, like, it could be very like making connections, parenting, child rearing, because I feel like a lot of it is rooted in control. Do what I say, make it easy for me to do this. And a lot of parents want easy children. And I don't know, I feel like in a lot of ways I was an easy child, but I feel like in those same ways it made me an easy to neglect child, an easy to abandon child, an easy to abuse child, an easy to betray child, an easy to leave hanging child. And that continues to be the pattern as I grow older. And I feel like when I am verbalizing these things, it's not an attack. I feel like my ability to even talk about it is actually quite amazing, versus being just no judgment, but just being, a drug addict, being completely mental illness ridden, where like I understand that there is something going on chemically and hormonally and mentally with me, but a lot of it is more than just mental illness. It's more so physical disease, mental disease, spiritual disease. It's a combination of those things that it's not like, yes, a therapy is going to be one aspect of my healing, but I'm also need other modalities, other physical aspects, physical healing, physical activity, not just working. I can't just be working thinking, oh, I'm exercising. No, I have to do what I'm doing now. Get out in nature, get out in the sun, walk a little bit. Even if it is just to walk to the store, or walk to where I just walk to the park. Like, be intentional about, like, this is the moment, this is the time that I have to be present with my physical body. Let me attend to its needs, its desires, its wants, etc. So like, because I feel like I have I'm aware of that, I feel like that already positioned me like at a, like, you're not finna guilt me into like being mental, because I'm aware of that. So that's not an excuse for the shit that I'm still addressing, or the truths that come with my messages. So even for myself, because I feel like a lot of times I allow like my own underdevelopment, my own awareness of my underdevelopment to shortstop me or contribute to why I accept bullshit. Like, oh, they just, they found an easy lick. And I mean, like, I'm not the type of person who looks for easy licks like that. But in the event that somehow my spirit did like sway towards that type of behavior, I probably would do that shit too. So I don't fault motherfuckers for being who they are for real. I fought myself for not accepting it sooner so it won't happen again. So a lot of times people be wondering, like, when I talk, how does things go from here to here? How are we talking about a timeline, talking about the past, and talking about the years and the things you've been experiencing? But all this shit is interconnected, because the part of the reason why I can't definitively just talk about 2023, summer of 2023, because I don't fully have a memory of it, because the trauma has merged all of those years together, because it's not half of the shit that I experienced no different from the year previously. It's no different from the year previously. It's no different from the year previously. It's more so maybe the environments change, maybe the people change, maybe the circumstances change. Maybe I had a little bit more money in that. Maybe I had a lot less money in it. Maybe I had a little more spiritual. Maybe I had a lot less of this. There is a lot of shit that I'm starting to realize, that the reason why my recollection is wavering is not because I don't remember. It's because I'm remembering too much of the same shit, and it's causing an effect into my mental. I had to take a deep breath, because this is mental health isn't something being wrong with you like that. It's more so it's at that point where you recognize the problem and you work on the solution. And when you recognize that there is no solution, you don't act from the reality of what that means. You think, because, oh, these people, I love these people, I care about these people know me, they love me, they care about me. What is the truth? What is the pattern? What is happening? Fuck the bullshit, bro. Like, I won't let it go. And it's going to be the death of me if I don't. How can Kawanda have a life for Kawanda if she's trying to live and martyr for everybody else? It's not you. It's not you. I didn't ask for you to do that. And I'm sorry that these people can't see what they need to do, so that you don't have to do that. Or that doing that isn't burdensome or problematic or useless. I'm not angry. I'm not at anybody directly. Like, yes, I have moments of that shit. I'm a human. I'm allowed to be mad at you. You did something that hurt me. You did something that upset me. You did something that fucked me up. I need a moment. Give me my moment. It's like people don't even establish shit and expect shit. I've been ever changing since a young girl, and I'm grateful for the beauty and the gifts God has bestowed on me, because I can't say it's this or that, or from this or that. God, higher power. But I just realized that so much of my mental health stems from pattern recognition, but inaction. I've been here before. I've seen this before. Ready Player One type shit. Like, you gotta get to a point where you are playing chess. You are making the moves, and you are 3 steps ahead of what the shit you are. Okay, so let me do the timeline. Let me say what I gotta say, and then if I hear it and see it, then I could probably figure out where I'm at right now and what I gotta do to get the fuck out of this shit. Because it could be just looking at like, I'm not nowhere bad. I'm under the tree. I'm free. I get to speak how I want to speak. Like, I'm good. This is what I want. Yet, I'm fighting with other shit. You know? I want the simple things. Not because of laziness. Not because I don't desire grander experiences, not because I don't deserve it, but because I've experienced so much motion and activity that to just, be isn't even like, it's so, for me to just be, even for me to be in this moment right now took so fucking much. It took so much. So how do you take a person who just to be able to sit under a tree and cry and talk and verbalize what she's been feeling and thinking for months? It took all of the shit that I've experienced just to be in this moment that I know that was warfare. Like, there is something that doesn't want me to speak, and I say something because I don't have a name for it. I don't know. I don't get it. Like, a lot of my experience is literally ignorance, naivety, childlike behavior, and then because I'm physically an adult and I have a sexual body, attractive body, you get put on this pedestal of you're responsible and you have this power and this authority, and you don't know shit on how to govern none of this shit, how to move in none of this shit. You literally could I literally know what it is, and yeah. So after I lived with my mom, had that moment with her, she ended up moving out because I told her that I was struggling with my mental health and I needed time to be able to afford rent and go and work. And I don't know if she just thought that I wasn't wanting to pay at all, or I don't know what. I really can't. Like I said, I try. Y'all know my thing with that. I don't try to assume the mind of people. Like, I just know what I felt and how the situation felt and looked, and it felt like my mom was like letting me go, wanting me to struggle, leaving me to the wind, to the wolves. Whatever she had assumed about my growth, my process, my healing, it convinced her that I was I remember her actually saying that I just talked bad about her, but to me, I only was talking about my lived experiences, which weren't all good. So I can't. It's not my fault. I didn't do all of that shit to myself. Not necessarily, like, we can talk about the esoteric wisdoms of all this, but we're not at that point right now. But I felt so hopeless, so lost, so betrayed. Like, I had the means and the plan to do something completely different, and I chose this for you. And the one moment that I just need to take a breath, just so I can figure out a different plan. Not indefinitely. I was probably gonna be at a temp service or somebody's job the following week. It's more so just needing a moment to say, more is coming out than more is coming in, and I need to figure out the imbalance. But who knew in that time that my own mother would be that imbalance? Because I moved back with my stepmom and my dad, who ended up like apologizing and giving me this whole drawn out story about how all the stuff that was happening to me that I felt was negative or spiritual was due to their desire to have me back over there, versus picking up a phone call, having a conversation and saying, Kwanda, if you ever need somewhere to go, or we want you here, we have a space for you, come be here with us. Like, it was never that. It was, let's energetically do shit, think shit, pray for shit, so that she ends up back here. The prayer could have very much went like, make her life a living hell, for all I know, because that's literally what my awakenings felt like at periods of time, was just a brutal, just what the fuck, an attack that I would literally feel the presence of entities and energies, and I'm like scared to close my eyes, scared to cut the lights off. And I'm back in that space a little bit. I'm back in that space. And I'm trying to decipher the movement. The movement is very volatile right now, meaning it's so the options, the opportunities, the world, I understand it being the oyster in that sense. So I took the negative, like I was like, damn, that's fucked up that you thought that you couldn't just, but I'm like, I honestly felt, I don't know if it was real in the sense that I felt it, but I don't know how pure, like, how you can have trickster energy type thing. So, like, I'm not gonna lie, it felt good to be back there. I felt like I was wanted, needed, accepted. And then months go, like I say, the patterns go back. It's like people can tolerate me for just enough to squeeze out all of the things that they need to squeeze out of me. And then when it's no longer hidden for what it needs to hit for them, I'm disposable. And so my whole thing is that you want me to forgive you. You say you're moving in the spirit of forgiveness. You forgive me, vice versa, all the things. Yet acceptance, conversation, ease, like we can't even, there is no natural bond. The only relationship that I've ever had with my parents after a certain point, because like At first, I used to see them as a lot of different beautiful things, and I still see them as that too. But I also see them into the reality too. So I think that's what clashes. Is that I've gotten to a point in my life where only their truth, the shit that they don't want to talk about, is what can help me. The shit that they have shown me, the shit that I have watched and witnessed, I've outlived it. I've already experienced it in tenfold. So that you can't tell me nothing about the struggle. You can't tell me nothing about the poverty. You can't tell me nothing about abusive parents. You can't tell me nothing about certain situations. Well, they don't talk about them. They probably can't tell me something about the molestations and that mentality of all of that. But as far as like getting through life with that stuff, it ain't about like you're gonna whether you want to or not, you're gonna get up every motherfucking day. So like that ain't what's gonna take you out. If that's not what's supposed to take you out, you would have died at that moment. So I'm grateful that I survived every assault on my person, whether it was physical, sexual, emotional, whatever. Thank you, God, that I am here to tell the story, to live in the truth. Because I don't know. It's a lot I don't know. I didn't know that my love for people would be envied. I didn't know that my purity, my ability to connect would be something to, I could almost sell it. I could almost sell me. Like, this shit can't be bought. This shit can't be built. This shit can't even... We are like the last motherfucking, like we could say the last nights. We could talk about on some big shit, bruh. Like, the energy that people like me carry is, I guess it is very rare, bro. And everybody talk about it. I didn't really understand. I knew that it was something. It's just who I am. I don't need to be nothing different though. Like, but I think to other people that threshold, that cap, that nobody is that, like, you talking about grounding, bitch, grounded. I've been there. Like, it's a matter of real life. Who the fuck it is for real? Kawanda, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you are playing a different game, bro. Like, this is really, yeah, baby, it's really Sparta. This is really, like he said, it will probably never be physical. And I'm sitting here got an attitude, not even listening to the wisdom. Because I'm so deep in my trauma, which is very valid in certain things, but like, you miss it. You miss so much by being so, like, it's a balance with being main character, being so about you, to not allowing people to fuck with you, to knowing when you kind of fucking with yourself, bro. You kind of fucking with yourself, and you may not be doing it intentionally, trying to be a pain in the ass or somebody that's perceived as difficult, but hey, sometimes shit is going too smooth that ain't no way. I gotta rough it up a bit. I gotta see if you day one though, you want me to, and that's why I ain't gonna lie, I like to put it all on the floor day one. That's just me. Because if you can't handle it day one, why worry about day 2, 3, 4? Like, I guess it feels like a negative because of the reactions and the responses that come of it, but typically you waste less time. But you could waste even less time by accepting the part of life, the state of life you're in. If you say that I'm in a part of my life where I'm not gonna be attracting the type of people that's really like 100% gonna be beneficial to me, because I'm not there yet. I'm not waking up every day doing 100% of what I can to do for me. And let's be realistic. A bitch like me growing up in survival hood may never be able to do 100% every day, or never, relative to what I'm talking about, relative to not saying that you can go through healing and things that'll help you get to that, but just saying like, okay, maybe that's too much of that's too big. Not in a sense that I don't deserve that, but more so that what is real for you right now. Maybe 70%, 60%, my 40% is what I got, and it may not be 100%, but if my 40% is equal to a lot of motherfuckers who is at 100%, then say that 100%, when it hit, it's gonna hit, baby. But so having this moment, building these bonds, trauma bonding, like they have a level, my dad and my stepmom have a level of consciousness that is, to a degree, there's spiritual openness, and I feel like Christianity, religion, can do that for you if you're willing, if you allow it to, where you are just attuned to signs, messages, higher, higher knowings. And so, I realized that they might have their nest over here while I'm just over here thugging. But anywho, so yeah, there's normally like a higher knowing in connection to certain like spiritual practices, gifts, etc. Y'all, this hornet or something, I think it's looking for its nest. But I think I need to get up and go, baby, cause I can't let me pause this for a second, cause it's kind of making me nervous. We gonna finish this conversation.